With Barcelona ending the calendar year 4 points clear, sitting at top of the La Liga table. Our domestic dominance is clear. We may have lost El Clasico to Real Madrid, but we did that so that Xabi Alonso can keep his job. Ask any Barcelona fan, our biggest dream that we want for this season is to win the Champions League, to lift the sixth
Barcelona win the
Champions League
Champions
in the
League.
club's
The
history.
outstanding.
But we have to be honest with ourselves to make that dream a reality. Barcelona has to be busy in the winter market. Now, there's already rumors stirring with all of the analysts, with Fabrizio Romano, David Bornstein, Mundo Deportivo, Sport. Everybody's already coming out with rumors. This is just going to be the latest news that I've been able to gather as of now to what we can actually see a possibility in bolstering our defense. That is where we need to focus to genuinely get back to the promised land and be kings of Europe once again. Now, I am going to be mainly focusing on the players that have been linked with Barcelona and with the possibility or impossibility of signing them in the winter transfer market. There's honestly a lot of players. Like I said, the biggest thing we have to focus on is our center backs. It looks like Barcelona has been linked with a lot of players from the Premier League. Now, I really want to start off with people that most likely will not be signed in the winter transfer market, but have been linked with Barcelona. Obviously, the market does not open until the 1st of January. That's why these are more rumors, or we don't know anything concrete as of yet. The first one that a lot of people were talking about was the Chelsea center back, Alex Dazazi. He, for some reason, has fell out from being a starter at Chelsea under Enzo Maresca's plan. He was actually a very good center back. He's 27, right footed, 6'3". He's a behemoth. The guy is a solid wall at the back defensively, and he knows how to press the ball forward, and he does not crack when it comes to getting pushed off the ball because he's, like I said, a behemoth. He can go toe to toe with Holland. Now, his contract is valid all the way until 2029, but Chelsea has already announced that they will not be doing any kind of loan deal, that they want a permanent sell to alleviate some of their wage and salary costs. And he's honestly on a lot of wages because annually he's making about 5 million and he's currently on a contract for 6 years and does not expire until 2029. So he is on an impossible list. We would not be able to get him because he is far too expensive. And as of now, Barcelona does not have the opportunity to pay the cost and to register. That's the biggest problem because Barcelona still is not in the one of one rule. So a permanent sell would not be likely with any kind of player of that magnitude. Another one that is a very big name in the market that has been linked with a lot of teams, but Barcelona has inquired about him. It's the 25-year-old Mark Gahey, 6 foot, right footed as well. One of the highly sought out center backs in all of football world. He was linked with Liverpool last year, but it fell through due to Oliver Glasner deciding that if he gets sold, he would leave and not sign a contract. And then now it's been announced that he's not even going to sign a contract whatsoever because he is only on a wage of 2.5 million euros. So that is not a bad price at the moment. But with the initial Liverpool deal, he's going to be making about 10 million annually. And he was going to be signing for, I think, 4 to 5 years. He is another one that'll be impossible for us to buy in this winter transfer market. He may be a permanent buy come summer. We're going to be selling players that they've already announced. Ter Stegen, there's already talks with Lewandowski possibly getting a salary reduction or him moving on to another team as well. So yeah, he's gonna. If we go for Mark Gahey, it will not be in this winter transfer market. It'll have to be in summer of 2026, and even then, their prices are going to increase due to it being a World Cup year. Now, another one that a lot of people have been talking about because Hansi Flick has highly rated him and requested him, with it being Nico Schlotterbeck. He is with Borussia Dortmund, and there's already a lot of reports of him wanting to leave Dortmund. We don't know the actual reasoning as to it, but there's a lot of speculation already from journalists, newspapers, everything. And he's also really good. The reason Hansi Flick rates him is because he's a left-footed center back at 6'3", and he's only 26. So and with him being 26, he's in his prime. He's fully built, a lot of match experience, Champions League experience. That's going to be really, really helpful. And I think it'll be awesome to sit beside Kubarsi. Because at the moment, with Kubarsi and Gerard Martin, that'd be one of the youngest pairings that we have ever seen. Like, that is actually crazy. Because when it comes to the UCL, it's a whole different ball game. He's currently on 5 mil annually, 5 million currently. His contract is valid all the way until summer of 2027, but now they're looking at bolstering his contract and doubling it all the way up to 10 millions upwards. So he's possible just because he wants to leave and Hansi Flick favors him, but he could not be bought in the winter market. It wouldn't make sense because only with Christensen being out due to injury, we're able to use 80% of his current wages. Until we get back to that 1-on-1 rule, the problem isn't purchasing a player, the problem is registering a player. Because with our current salary costs, we wouldn't have enough. So he would only be able to be bought in the summer, if that. Because there are also talks about Bastoni, but that one's already been shot down. And until we hear more rumors, I don't really want to talk about Bastoni. But those are the three that are pretty much impossible at the moment. Now, if Deco can make some wondrous moves and a miraculous move, awesome. But just be warned, I do not think those three will be coming in the winter market. Now, there's two players that we could genuinely see coming to us, one being a loan player and another possibly being purchased due to them not being too expensive. With the first one, it'll be Nathan Ake. Now, Ake, though, he can actually go on a loan deal because a lot of other clubs are looking at getting a loan deal from him to try him out before they make a full purchase due to him already being kind of old for his age. He is 30 years old, but he's left footed and he's a Dutchman. Dutchmans are some of the best defenders historically. They are just good. Virgil van Dijk, Ronald Koeman, the Lick is another big one. There's just so many. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the Dutchman has always been known to have a strong, strong defense. So I actually rate a loan deal. If we can get Ake and convince him, that'll be awesome. Hopefully Pep Guardiola can talk to him with him being a Barcelonista, if he can do it for us. Because I think Nathan Ake would be our best shot of bolstering the defense for the winter market. We only have to cover his wages because it'll be more than enough to come over with us with, Christensen being out due to injury. We'll be able to register him no problem. And then if he does well enough, hey, we might even purchase him because he'll be great off the bench. We can do it. Because even with Christensen coming back after 4 months, it just comes down to who's been the better player. Now, this is another Premier League player, Marcos Senesi, phenomenal. He plays with Bournemouth currently with the Cherries. He's also left-footed, 6 foot, and he's only 28. And his contract runs out all the way until summer of 2026. So it's literally 6 months. The biggest issue is Barcelona does not want to pay a transfer fee for a player that will be leaving for free come summer of 2026. But the entire premise of this video is we have to make moves and bolster our defense. I have faith in Kubarsi. I have faith in Gerard Martin. I have lost faith in Araujo. And then with Christensen being injured, we have very limited resources when it comes to the center back position. Because if we keep Kubarsi and Gerard Martin at the back, I do not think we will win this Champions League. Because to have two young players is not a good thing. We need to have somebody sitting beside one of them. Because with the departure of Indigo Martin, bro, we have seen it without one leadership, a true captain of that caliber with that age and experience. It is something that we have been needing and missing since his departure. Any of these center backs that we have been talking in this video will help and improve. It just comes down to what our sporting director, Deco, decides. He needs to make a move. We have to back Hansi Flick because he has been doing the most with limited resources. And I mean limited. Now, a big thing that can help is if we're able to sell Ter Stegen in the January market, that will help a lot. But he's already having his ego again and saying he will not leave unless he plays at a club at his caliber. This guy, dude, I don't know why he does this. He only won us one Champions League, and then since then, he's been picking back off of that. He's made good saves, but he's let in a lot of goals. And it's not just solely on the defense. Sometimes him closing his eyes and putting one arm up, that's why he has the name Tur statue. Like he just stops. The Nessie can actually be bought, but it just comes down to what Deco does. And he needs to do something big because initially, even at the General Assembly earlier in the year, he already said we weren't going to spend any money in the winter market. But with Christensen being out for this amount of time, Araujo still having his mental issues, and I think Hansi Flick has lost faith in him because in the biggest of moments, with the biggest of lights, the brightest of lights, he has failed time and time again. He has been phenomenal for us in the 22-23 season, but since then, it has been abysmal. Abysmal because we have been knocked out of the Champions League, unfortunately, on his hands. It's if there's a crime scene, he's there at it. So I don't know how else you can defend him. I'm not going to attack him on a personal level, but at the club level, as a professional, he has not been up to the standard of Barcelona. But we're gonna keep an eye on this. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. We're coming up to the new year within about 6 days. That's when the market will be open, January 1st. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, we learn more with the closer we get to the window. But if we can bolster our defense, we have a genuine shot at the Champions League. I still think we have a good chance, very slim. We are not. I do not see Barcelona as favorites, especially in the current table. If we get these 6 points, we may even get top 8 in the UCL table. But it just depends on the other teams and if they draw points. It's going to be very, very close. But we will